ma MC matata. Kabla single yako ipite yangu kwa chati, geuza jina, geuza flow, geuza trouser na shati, na bado kitoboa kuniguza ni bahati. Naroga na kihindi tena kikutabati. Yeah, saga blow, ziki zao. Kutema na mimi lazima utupe mbao. Ule jamaa mlita rao sana, speak up bunduki. Chiki plow.
Hatuteki nazi. Mafans wetu wamesema ndio. Au sio? Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Niaje bro, niaje sister, tunawacheki. We got mad love for you. Niaje bro, niaje sister, tunawacheki. We got mad love for you. Niaje bro, niaje sister, tunawacheki. We got mad love for you. Niaje bro, niaje sister, tunawacheki.
Tuendelee ama tusiendelee. Tuendelee ama tusiendelee, guys. I am super excited because my guest is in the building. You guys are tuned into the 5 a.m. club, and you already know Radio 254 is the home of Kenyan music and content. Now, my guest today, his name is Jim Muok. Let me tell you that name, by the way, Muok. He's a photographer. He is a licensed drone operator, a videographer. He is involved in media production. He has impact projects such as travel, lifestyle. He's been able to work for a couple of NGOs, and he is very intentional with his work, which is what I really admire. Jim, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
Thank
you very much. That was a very interesting intro.
Thank you so much. So I want to be able to tell people your story, because you tell other people's stories on your feed, on your LinkedIn, by doing photos and videos. So I want to be able to know, why did you choose to pursue this career?
Interesting. So as you've mentioned, I have a different background in working within NGOs.
Yeah.
In a technical capacity. So it's interesting because 3 years ago, I didn't know I'd be here, you know.
Yeah.
I was initially in the renewable energy sector, and as a logistics official, and I moved from that to project management for a number of NGOs and a consultancy frameworks. But yeah, like during that period, I had more time, because leaving the private sector and going into the NGO world, you have some time. Depends on where you're going, but you have some time.
Yeah.
So I always was a big fan of cameras. I always used to admire cameras, with either your phone or, like a friend of mine had a camera, so I used to borrow it a lot and take pictures of birds or, just very random things.
Yeah.
So, but as I was just fooling around with the camera, I just realized how much information you could actually get from, cameras and telling stories. And during my my consultancy period, I just got a crazy idea to try tell stories instead of working technically in projects. So I took a leap of faith and took a step back from consultancy.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. And, you have a proper paying career, and then you just want to throw all that away.
Yes.
To film, and then people are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really think it went well, because ideally I thought it was just going to be selling stories of renewable energy, but I've gotten to work with so many interesting projects. I've gotten to film things in climate change, in gender, water and sanitation, wildlife, which I absolutely love right now. So it's been that is ideally the path. But the basic core of the story is I like cameras. I loved it, and I decided to take it as a career.
That's incredible. So I really love how you document your stories, and your LinkedIn account has those stories in detail. And I want to be able just to talk about a couple of projects that you've been able to do, and tell me which one was your favorite and why.
Okay.
Yes, so you've done Lake Victoria, you did clean energy, sustainability, you are doing flying kites partners, the women of Kirimatian village, I hope I've said it right. The
Don't be
rangers,
offended, but close enough.
the rangers of Taita Wildlife, and you've been able to do so many projects. So I want to be able to know which one was your favorite and why.
Ooh, okay. I think so. The first one which you've mentioned, which is like Victoria and renewable energy.
Yeah.
That to be honest, that was the debut, project that I did.
Yeah.
Because I was like straight after private sector, where I used to work as a logistics official in renewable energy.
Yeah.
So I think that signified like a leap of faith, to try to make whatever was just initially in my mind into turn that into a reality.
Yeah.
So I took a random trip, and with a couple of friends, it was a very interesting trip. Victoria is very beautiful. That's where I come from.
Yeah.
It's a very, very beautiful space. But also, like, there are so many issues those people are going through. So things like to do with energy.
Yeah.
So, for example, that article, we had visited an island called Takawiri, and it's literally an island. So, like, energy is a problem. So most of the people in that space use solar energy.
Yes.
So I just I wanted to document it, and also being in that field and knowing at least some technical information. It was very important to see what was on the ground, because I used to work in logistics but not actually on the ground. So just getting to see how people are actually operating with the resources that they have, and how those resources impact their lives. Education for their kids. Kids have to study at night, and there's no electricity, so they're using renewable energy, like so solar panels. And fishermen are fishing at night, and they have to trap the fish using light, so they have these lanterns that they put on the water, running on renewable energy.
Interesting. That is so interesting.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
Ideally, so that as I've said, I don't know if I've answered your question, but like, that being the initial project I did for myself.
Yeah.
No money.
No money.
Spending money to tell stories.
Yes.
That had to be the most special one. So
nice. Far. Incredible. What does photography mean to you?
Whew. Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. The hard questions.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, it literally helped me actualize what was just happening in my mind, and to be able to tell stories using this really powerful tool has meant a lot to me, because I really don't think I would be doing what I did right now if there weren't any lenses or cameras.
Yes.
I really think that it paved a path for me to work with other people. I work with very interesting creatives, and like all of us have come together because of that one purpose. It's a really special tool, and I really think just in general, any way to tell stories or like paint a picture is a really powerful tool, especially in the age of the internet. We are living in spaces where ideally, a picture paints. What's the phrase? Huh?
A lot of stories. Oh wait, no.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So like it paints a picture, and to be able to use, let's say, data that many people won't necessarily have, and and try to change lives with it. Like also like inform people, so they can be like maybe mass action. If it's something, I took a picture of, let's say, I go to a slum and then there's pollution, and then people didn't understand that the scale that is in that, the scale of pollution that is there. That to me is like the most powerful thing right now. Information and cameras, information hand in hand. So I think for me, being able to tell stories is the most powerful thing to me, and I think to the world right now.
Yeah, that is true. I want to be able to know, what's your style of photography?
Alrighty. Oh, wow. So the thing is, I work with very different people, and most of the time you have to help people, like you have to be the creative director, but also people have their own visions.
Yeah.
So, but I have found myself being in very interesting shoots.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but like the constant thing that I feel in my work has is emotion. I like to bring the emotions out of things. So a bit moody, but yeah, like emotion, like top of the pyramid there.
Yes.
Because whatever I photograph or I film, I feel like if you tap into like the emotional part of humans, that's where the impact, where you can actually make impact.
Yeah.
But I've tried very different things.
Yes.
So I've tried to be vibey and try to be very, let's say, hard in terms of, because for some people, like when you film for them, they want you to paint them as the bad person. So
yeah.
you also like okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like being a really editing is like absolutely powerful, because with
True.
editing you can actually like turn anything into anything.
Yeah.
So say things like let's say something like influencing. People I also do I don't know,
Influencing work.
influencing work.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say like someone is doing like an alcohol ad, and they want to make that drink look, let's say, like the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Yes.
And I'll help them do that.
Yeah.
So like it's very diverse, I guess.
Incredible. Now, I usually ask a lot of photographers this because I've been able to work with so many different photographers. Nikon or Sony?
Oh wow! You want me to be cancelled? Oh my god! I think for photography, Nikon is really good. But I think Sony has really redesigned themselves. Rather, so I feel like Sony is the best video camera out there. You can kill me. I'm ready to die.
Yes.
I'm ready to die by my statements.
And which lens do you love using the most?
I personally love the 50mm. It's 50-50.
50,
it's,
yeah.
1.8. I think it does. It's basically the human eye. Because we're dealing with focal length, so
Yeah.
there's the wide angle lenses and the telephoto lenses, but I think the image that's closest to the human eye is the 50mm. I think especially the reason why I like it is because it paints a picture that is similar to the human eye. So whatever you're seeing is essentially what your eye would have seen. So but I like being versatile sometimes. And
Yeah.
For example, like 50mm won't work with wildlife photography, so you have to go with telephoto lenses.
Yeah.
So something around 150 to 600 for telephoto
Yes.
is amazing, because I'm kind of moving into wildlife a lot.
Yeah.
So I really use that lens a lot. It's a Sigma 150 to 600. The images you can capture with that thing is crazy. Especially like in the wild, you can't be as close to the lion as you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to go with something that has a like a narrower field of view. So 600. I will say on the wildlife end.
Yeah.
But like on the human element, I think 50mm.
50mm.
is actually the go-to.
Now, you have spoken about wildlife photography, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's one of the hardest to be able to capture like something in motion or an animal, getting it right. So I want to be able to know, for you, how are you able to get into wildlife photography? Like, how do you capture these beautiful animals? Because I've seen a couple of pictures that you've been able to take, and they're incredible. So I've been told you need to be patient. Please put us in your shoes when you're doing wildlife photography.
Animals will definitely give you character development. 100%.
Yeah.
Let me paint a picture. So there's this time we were somewhere in Nanyuki, and we were looking for an aardvark, an ant bear.
Yes.
Oh, actually, with the Muok means ant bear in where I come from.
Nice.
It's very, very interesting.
Interesting.
So ideally they're very like rare animals to find, and then they're very shy. So most you will basically only see them, mostly see them at night, and it's only for a second, and then they'll
Few
go back to
seconds
their
and then they
hole.
go in.
So imagine like looking for an animal that you can only find at night, and then you're looking for them with flashlights, like a very massive torch that this Land Cruisers have, and imagine the kind of patience you have to find.
Oh my God.
And then you see like things like leave alone that. So say you are maybe filming during the day and you want like the perfect shot, you want that rhino to be aligned
Yeah.
with Mount Kenya in the background,
Yeah.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
So it's very hard, so you have to find them, first of all you have to find them, which will take you forever. Sometimes in some conservancies, like they're very readily available. In some conservancies they have it's like this conservancy I filmed at like around 2 months ago. The rhinos there are like cattle.
Oh yes,
Like,
yes, I
there
saw
are
that.
so many. So
yeah.
like, you'll find it, like, but you go try find a rhino somewhere in
Over here, our national park.
there's a pattern. Like there's
Really?
there's some conservancies which actually maybe have like one, like maybe two or like four.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to find them. You have to trace them. So that's where the wildlife rangers come in. They're really like godsend because they have this interesting like mesh of networks where maybe one person spots it from like 3 kilometers away. They radio you, like it's there. They've been looking for it for like 6 hours. I'm like, thank you very much. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
So yes, they're hard to find, but like it's a very hard process trying to film animal photography, and it's also very expensive.
Yeah.
Because the cameras are expensive. The
The
lens
lens.
is
Woo,
expensive.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to like spend.
You really have to invest,
Emotional damage. But yeah, like what I usually tell like young people or anyone who's starting out with photography is that you don't have to own everything off the top.
Yeah.
There are very many like resources you can actually have. There's someone who's like a lifesaver. I think every creator has worked with someone called Fares in town. He's a really cool guy, and he has literally everything that you'd ever need.
Yeah.
At a rate, of course.
At a rate, of course. When you go out to shoot, do you take any other essential items other than your camera and your lens?
Whew, okay, power bank.
Oh yeah, that is essential.
Yeah, 'cause, like, your power will really mess you up like, in the wild. So,
Yeah.
And so Bluetooth speaker, because I love music.
Yeah, by the way.
That inspires my videos a lot. Like I'm always listening to music. And what else? I think if I had my phone,
Yeah.
if I had good music and I'd have, let's say, enough energy, I can actually switch off. I like switching off from the world, because when I come back to Nairobi, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
So being out, like there was shooting projects, whatever culture projects, like projects in the wild, you also get to meditate. You also get a lot of time to yourself.
Yeah.
So those items right there are enough for me.
Nice. What professional photographers have influenced your work? And are there any photographers that you look up to?
A bunch.
Tell us.
Oh my god! So I'm always learning, man. Like it's always a learning process. I love knowledge, especially about like my craft. So a lot of people have inspired me locally. Off the top of my head, Magunga is a really cool photographer. He's really nice, good man. Like I remember when I was starting out, like he used to advise me a lot, and the information he gave me back then I still used to date. The mentalist. You know the mentalist?
No, I don't.
Oh my god, that's a very very interesting man.
Yeah.
He recently had as I think, was it, how can I call it, like a seminar of some sorts, organized by Cameras Africa, and these are just sessions where like you really influential photographers come and have a conversation. You pick their minds, and you pick one or two things about like what you will essentially use in your craft.
Yeah.
That was a really good session. Who else do I like? Peter Size 10 on Instagram.
Yes.
Man, the way he captures culture, wildlife, and wildlife is just amazing.
It's incredible.
So his drone work is also really good.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. Like no.
Yes. I want to be able to know out of all your photos, which one is your favorite and why?
Okay, alrighty, all right. There's a photo I took that was just like on a personal trip. I think it's cool. I think it's on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So I was in Diani with a friend of mine, and then we're going down this. It's called Congo River. So I think I actually wrote an article about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we were going down the river, we saw a man and his son who are fishermen, and they were trying to like now cast their net.
Yeah.
So like okay, so we just saw them, and then they saw us like from a while because just like drifting down the river, and then all of a sudden the young boy gets into the water, and then he's pulling the net into the water, and as he's pulling it, and he was a very small boy.
Yeah.
I think he was about like 10 or so. So he's going deeper and deeper into the water until like the net, like until the water gets to maybe like neck height, neck length, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's literally like tagging the net like with him, and then now like the perfect composition just opened up, and like we'll see him on the water holding the net, and the father on the shore. Like, and that was like
That must have been
like,
incredible. Yeah. Bring it.
Yeah.
This is a moment.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like I like randomness in my photos.
shots. Yeah.
I really struggle with filming humans. Tafadhali bado ni pesa. So I'll figure feature. I'm more of a videographer, but that's also the power of collaboration is like amazing. Because
Yeah.
essentially you can't do everything by yourself.
True.
Like, I work with very different people because sometimes I have a project that maybe needs 5 people, like 4 people, like enough manpower. So I've been able to work with really, really good artists, photographers. So they help me with some things, but essentially everything and anything can be done.
Yeah.
Here, please.
Yes.
Bring your money.
Bring the monies. I'm curious. Do you have an assistant?
Well, no, I don't.
Okay.
So what I do is I work with freelancers.
Okay. All right.
So depending on the project, I'll either have, let's say, maybe I won't be on the ground, and then I'll need to work with someone who can double up as a director and an operator at the same time. So I feel like working with freelancers is quite interesting because you're not holding this person down to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be my former employers. Yeah, but I love the concept of giving young people a chance. Mentoring. I get a bunch of DMs on people who want to work with me. Unfortunately, I can't work with everyone because also time kidogo.
Yeah.
Kidogo is an issue, but ideally, I am the producer, I'm the DOP, I'm the editor, I'm the business development manager,
Yes.
I'm the accountant.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you're everything, eh?
It's a sole proprietorship.
Yes.
It's a small business. Yeah.
Okay, so there is taking photos and videos, then there's editing.
Wow.
Let's talk about editing because I feel like when you take the photos and the videos, I feel like that's the easy part.
That really is the easy part.
Yeah, then comes to editing. So please take us through how you got into editing and what softwares you use.
Okay, so ideally when I began, of course, when you start, you have to learn everything by yourself.
Yeah.
So I got Adobe Premiere Pro, which I use to date. Though, well, it's a whole discussion between Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut, and what's this other one called? This other one that everyone swears by. Yeah. So there are a bunch of software, but I feel like Adobe really worked for me.
Okay.
And then also it's kind of like I hear the reviews about other apps.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of in a you can't teach an old dog new trick situation.
You're like, I'm gonna stick to what I know.
But I really want to learn other software. But also it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
How much time do you have to actually take it up? But I've seen people who've migrated to other software.
Yeah.
But for me, Adobe still works for me.
Still works. Yeah. Okay, now, according to you, what makes a good photographer and a good picture?
Oh wow. It's you ulijipanga na hizo maswali. Okay. what makes a good
Photographer
and what makes a good picture.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll just I tell a lot of stories. I'll diverge kidogo.
No
So
worries.
there's a friend of mine who I'm mentoring. So I'm working with him a lot right now. So one of the things that like I noticed with him is he's not well. He has amazing work.
Okay.
He has really really good work.
Yeah.
But he's not confident enough to put it online. So I've been really pushing this man to like put his work out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like and then when he has work out, he seeks for people's opinions a lot. Like how does this look?
Yeah.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
Can I go online? So first, what makes a good photographer? I feel like is someone who's confident in their work. Someone who's is ready to ready to risk it all on for that one piece of
shot
art that
and
he has,
yeah.
And like someone with their own instincts, and also like not even just their own instincts, someone who's able to let's say paint their client's picture the way they want it, so it has to be like your personal initiative, and it needs to be also like being directed. You have to follow. Sometimes you get work maybe like projects where someone tells you, I just want impact photos. I want to help these kids. And I want really good photos of these kids so I can put them on the website so the donors can actually like bring money to them.
Yeah.
So I feel like both personal like your personal instinct and drive, and also like being able to like work with other people to make their vision
come to
reality.
actual. Yeah.
So, photo. What makes a five?
What makes a good photo?
What do I know? Because I really don't conform. Like I am a photographer, but like I my style of photography is very different. People have very different styles.
Yes.
So I can't tell you what's the best photo you can take of a human being.
You don't know.
But I really think a photo that can tell a story just from that one frame is the most powerful thing ever. Like it's what we used to. It's all we used to know. Like when we were just magazeti.
Yeah.
See like a picture of people rioting. I'm like, oh, God, people are actually rioting. Why does this man look this angry?
His fist. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really feel like a photo that tells a story off the top. Something I don't have to explain. This is actually like what's happening on the ground.
Yeah.
This is actually this is a reality. I think that's like the most powerful thing ever. Yeah.
Nice. What are some of the biggest lessons in the business of what you are doing? Because you mentioned your CEO, yeah? So a lot of people don't talk about the business side of it.
Yeah.
Could you please educate us? And for those people who are looking to get into photography as well.
Okay. I think the biggest lessons for me has been my business's money is not my money.
That is smart, actually.
Like, it's like and I'm still struggling. I'm still like learning. It's not like I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But I think just finding a method to separate like your business's income from your
personal.
You all want good trips. You all want to go to to Dubai and shake those things. So like
Yes.
it's I really think that being financially aware, like like being aware of your financial situation and being aware of like what money has come in, what do I want to do with the money? Am I going to reinvest with this money? Am I going to like go and eat something very fancy at a fancy hotel?
Yes.
Like but it's also very important like to treat yourself. The thing is, it's you have to reward yourself as well. Like you don't have to like live in a car
Box, and you're like, no, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to persevere.
Yeah, I really feel like if you have a good plan, if you have like a good savings plan, if you have enough, like maybe the first couple of months I used to just pay myself in rent. Like the rest of the money
you're like,
was just business money. But like I think being aware that okay, fine, I've made some money here. Let me save this much. This one, let me take my girl out for a date, or like let me do this. This is something else.
Yeah.
So I really think that being financially aware is like one of the most powerful lessons that I have learned. I'm still learning.
Yeah, still learning.
That's the one.
All right. What is your best business tip for photographers or videographers that are just starting this business?
Business tip.
Yeah.
Maswali is
Maswali zimekuja.
Okay. Because like I really think that as I've mentioned before, it's very expensive. It's a very expensive venture.
Yes.
For me, I was so lucky. I left corporate and I had like some income to buy some gear, but like not every creative is as lucky.
Yeah.
So I think leasing is a really good like business, like the decision.
Yeah.
When you're starting out, I think leasing is it. Lease for a while, get enough money to buy your gear, and then that gear will buy more gear.
Yeah.
Because ideally we're talking about like the gear. There's no photography without the actual gear.
True.
So I feel like that should be the core of your business. Investing in gear.
Yeah.
So, and not being afraid to start like from leasing, or borrowing a friend's camera.
Yeah.
Using your phone. I have like really dope photographers who friends who still to date use their phones for client work. And it's amazing. Get a good phone. Like you're still see yako ni biashara.
Yes.
I think investing in your gear and like really thinking about like where the money is going in terms of gear is
key.
Is key. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. How do you package yourself? You're a brand, you're a business. How do you brand yourself? Because we do have a lot of different photographers, but how do you brand yourself?
Myself in terms of like
in terms of package, yeah.
Okay, well, what do I conform?
Yeah, what do you
conform to as
yes?
Like, what is my okay?
What
cool.
is yeah?
So I think so the plan was to do impact work, but as you see, I do a lot of other like jobs.
Yeah.
I will not recommend anyone to say no to any job starting out.
Yeah, that's true.
But like myself, I feel like now the core of my business is wildlife photography. So wildlife projects, corporate influencing, and travel. So ideally, I still have a very wide scope.
Yeah.
And I know that definitely I need to narrow down in a few because like you can't do everything.
True.
True. So currently what I brand myself as is a producer because I'm able to like film a TVC for corporate. I'm able to do and let's say as I mentioned, corporate influencing.
Yes.
I'm able to actually take 1 month and go to the field and do wildlife photography, and come back and then I'll do say a project, like for a week or like 2 days. I'll deal with 2.
Yeah.
But so like currently I think I conform under producer, because it's jack of all trades at this point. But like what I want to conform to is projects and wildlife because I think that's projects because that's actually where it all started. That's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And wildlife because it's just exciting. It just like gets your adrenaline
running.
running. I absolutely love those two sectors.
Nice. Tutakupata hapo National Geographic just representing.
Thank you very much. Very sweet.
Yes. I want to know what your pricing structure looks like.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Oh.
Well, so for me, So for me, there are 4 things. So whenever I come to your shoots, what my structure will look like is what does the equipment cost and what I want to charge for that equipment.
Okay.
What does my time mean to me and how much will you pay me to be in your space for using my skills to help you film.
Yeah.
The other thing is editing. Editing is just
you can take what's the longest you've ever taken to edit, let's say like anything? Give
me let's say the longest I've taken, let me give you the craziest one. The longest I've taken to edit a 1 minute video has been about 6 days.
Wow.
1 minute video.
Wow. It's like those TVCs we see, just quick, and you're like, wow, it took what? That's mad. Crazy.
And then that also took like 5 days to film.
Wow.
So like you have just like to pick all the highlights, all the things that look good, and you try to that's why I like to like separate everything. It's the time also like there's one thing I've forgotten in there, but like that one I'll come to later. Is like how much time it actually takes. How much time did you learn? How much did you take to learn your skill? You know, how much money have you put into like learning your craft? You know, and you know, people see good work out there, and they're like, mjamaa alikuja hapa akafanya kitu na 10 minutes journey nilikuwa na video. They don't understand like how much how much time it took to actually like learn that and also get the gear that you used for that.
Yeah.
Another thing is drone work. Iyo by the way, emotional damage is such a crazy, you know, thing. That's the fourth element.
Yeah.
Mimi, that's drone work inclusive or drone work not inclusive? Because as you mentioned, I'm licensed.
Yeah.
And it's a very expensive affair, like being a licensed drone operator. Like it costs money to go to school, you know. Yes. And also the gear is not very cheap.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever anyone gives you a quote, whenever any service provider or like anyone who's like trying to offer you something gives you a quote, please like take time and analyze that and actually like think about like what that means to them, you know, like every single part of that. And I like to segment it. I like to give you, okay, this is how much you spend on this, so we can bargain on this one. Not the whole cost sour, but like this one, the minimum for this one is this. And like I feel like if I go anything below that, it's a disservice. And I like to tell people, don't feel bad about pricing your work the way you want it, because you're the person who is so like you're the only one who knows what you've like what sacrifices you've made to get there.
Nice. Let's talk about drones. I saw that there was something that you went for. I don't know if it was like an expo. And I was like, that is so interesting. So let's talk about how you got into being a licensed drone operator and why you decided to go into that.
So fun fact. I think my drone was my first ever gear. It was the first ever thing I bought.
You bought.
But like it took some time, you know, like you because you go fine. This thing is it's very fascinating. Let me get it.
Yeah.
It has really good shots.
Yeah.
Alafu one day unapatikana kwa the wrong side of the lane. And then
wow.
So I have to do this. You know, like, you know, people still operate like, but I really would recommend anyone who has the like maybe like either some money somewhere or like have enough resources and you want to do drone work, just get the license, because like it also like opens your business in so many ways. There are so many jobs that you have to have a license. You know, like some of these corporates will want to see your license. They want to see a permit from KCA. They want to comes all the way from DOD. Yeah. So like and then some money. Personally, Peter didn't kasama by the upper. I think I need to invest more in this space. So I went to school, got a license, and like it's at the end of the day, it's feasible. The money will come back to you, especially if you continue pushing out in as much content as possible. Yeah, someone will see your work and they'll okay, come do this for me.
Nice. So ulienda shule, ukapata license. I want to know how much all that was, especially if somebody's listening and they want to be able to get into that.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to my drone school.
Drone space.
So they were quite expensive. Like, I mean, we know, because like it was a very new regulation, and they were, like the one of the first schools that came out. So there are many schools. Like there are a bunch of schools I will recommend. I have a friend of mine with another one called friend of mine who has another school in this one as well. Like, and they have a bunch of options. If you want to just come to the DM, I'll let you know where to try. Quotes. So initially, when they were starting, drone schools used to cost about like I think 180K to SOC, around that range. But right now, like a good chunk of them you can find a really good school with around like 130K to 150K. A month, which not a month, like for like a 2-week course. So you'll do like, so that you'll actually do like theory classes, and then you'll do like practical classes, and you'll be examined by a KCA official and wait for a bit of time, maybe a week or two, and then get your license.
Incredible. Yeah. Now, this question, and I want you to answer truthfully.
Always the water.
Have you ever done work for a client and they didn't like it? And how was that? And for you taking, constructive criticism, I love that. They were just not happy. How do you deal with that?
more than you know. But yeah. So, but I think also like when you're starting out, like you have a limited like point of view.
Yeah.
But you do enough projects to see like, okay, fine, people want this work to look like this. This kind of clients, they want this kind of work. But still, you get clients who are like unicorns, and they want you to build rainbows. So,
Out of nothing. Yeah.
So ideally, I get clients who don't like the first draft, but that's part of my business. So I usually give 2 free rounds of edits.
Okay.
Sometimes one free round of edit, depending on the job. So if you don't like the first draft, we'll first of all I'll try to like get your vision. Try edit that, and if that's not quite what you want, or it's just like a simple shot that you want out of the shot, or an additional shot that we didn't put it because we didn't have enough time. Maybe you want just a 2 minutes video.
Yeah.
I want this part to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll put it.
Yeah.
So there's like 2 free rounds of editing on some projects. On some projects, 1 free round of editing.
Okay.
That allows the client like the liberty to change it to what they want.
What they want, yeah.
So yeah, but as every creative has gone through that.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
We'll still go through that.
Yes.
It's a very big, industry here.
Yeah. So you've been able to work for corporates through influencers.
Yes.
What do they look for? And for somebody who's a creative and probably wants to do like self-photography or self-videography, what tips could you give them?
Interesting.
Yeah.
First things first, just invest in editing. Just like learn how to edit.
Editing, yeah.
Just learn how to. If you're an influencer and you can edit your own work, man, like you're saving so much money.
True.
Because we're expensive.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. What?
Yeah. Like it costs money to to do what we do. So if you can like learn how to edit, and people can just use their phones for this gigs. It's still as about to make camera.
Really, yeah.
And all these influencers, like they're not like limited to just like
Cameras, yeah.
So if you can actually edit your work, you're good. And investing in gear. Like if you want to like actually take it to the next level, just get an affordable camera, spend a kidogo amount of money. I won't disclose. But yeah, you can get anything for any camera for any amount of money you want. Anything from let's say like 50 G's going up, that's bare minimum.
Yeah.
You can actually get something that is usable. If you want to go professional level, that's another thing. A kidney, maybe a leg. But
Yes.
yeah, so also like I feel like being very intentional in your content is I've seen it going like doing things for people, man. Ideally, that's the information, the advice I'd give an influencer, like trying to like capture corporates is just like being intentional and being consistent. I think that's a no-brainer. That has to happen.
Yeah.
So on the creative side. And I know download Premiere Pro kwa laptop yako
Wanza
tutorials. These things you learn online.
Yeah.
Took me like I think like 1.5 months to like at least to be somewhere in terms of Adobe Premiere Pro. It's possible. Spend 1 hour, 2 hours in a day just learning how to like do things like on the maneuver.
Yeah.
And it will come in handy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about your career, your brand, and I want to be able to know, what does Jim like doing apart from his work?
Soft life.
Soft life manenos. But tell us. I'm sure you love traveling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I feel like even as I say, like the kind of packaging I put myself, like the package I put myself in, as a product.
Yeah.
Traveling will still be part of my life for a very long time. I love it. Like I before this happened, I still used to do solo travels, just take a random road trip to Kigali and just spend a couple of like days there.
Yeah.
So like, because it opens up your mind a lot. So you'll get to meet new people, get to see different spaces, beautiful spaces. Like different species of wildlife. Like it's always something new on like when you're on the road. So that is what I like to do. I like to travel.
Nice. Tell me one of your best highlights in your career.
Highlights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this is actually a milestone. So a very interesting magazine is featuring me this year.
Oh,
Wildlife
okay.
magazines.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah, like so that to be honest, that like being a creative, you're not very sure like you're always like still guessing yourself. Like
Yeah.
I see my page, I'm like, oh my god, I should have done this better. You know, like I should have done this.
Yeah.
But like getting those kind of validations from like, you know, like people who are doing amazing work in those whatever sector that is, getting that kind of validation is just, you know, it's you know, to make a kuni kwa moto, the motto that is gym, so like just gassing me up.
Yeah.
So like I think that it's a very interesting organization. They do wildlife, and they are featuring me and my work on the page. So that's amazing.
Nice.
This is also another highlight.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
this
my first time
interview.
on radio.
Ayy.
Yeah, so like this is
Dope.
it's really cool. Thank you for you know,
Yeah.
inviting me to this.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. So I'd like to ask you one question. It's already 8:30. My time is up.
Alrighty.
I want to ask, what advice would you give somebody who's trying to get into this space, who wants to be a photographer, a videographer? What advice would you be able to give them?
I think this is definitely a cliche, but it's actually very true. Just start somewhere. You know, start with whatever you have.
Yeah.
Start with your phone. Start with, you know, like that old camera that your father used in the 90s.
Yes.
Give it a retro look.
Retro
you know,
look.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think it feels like you know, like you have to have the right gear, you know, or you have to have the right skills, or you know, like you know, have to know the right people. I mean, like I think like as long as you have quality work out there, the right people will find you. To be honest.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't put yourself out there, then there's nothing to find, you know.
Yeah.
So I really think that we need to, you know, make ourselves vulnerable and you know, share our work.
Yeah.
And this is the age of the internet. Like people are getting, you know, like 6 million views from one video, and their life just changes.
Yeah, that is so
So,
true.
yeah.
Incredible. I want to say thank you so much for coming. Please give us all your social media handles. Where can we add you? If somebody probably wants to work with you, how can they be able to reach out to you?
So my name is Jim Muok. Sile Muok ya warazi. I like to tell people Muoki without the I.
Nice.
That's way, yeah.
Yeah.
So on Instagram I am Jim_Muok. On Facebook, which I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
But, Facebook Jim Muok on and on LinkedIn as well, Jim Muok.
Nice. Nice. Thank you so much, Jim, for coming. Let me tell you, your work is phenomenal. I saw your work and I was like, yo, I have to be able to interview this guy and just, you know, pick his brain kidogo. Yeah, and you're inspiring other photographers and videographers out there. Continue telling other people's stories. I think you do an incredible job just shedding light into probably some areas, some people, some issues that we probably do not know about. So please keep on keeping on. I shall just be cheerleading you on over here from the sidelines. And thank you everybody who has been tuned in. I am gonna leave one song playing as we end the show. Just want to remind you guys of the event that we shall be having on the 1st of July, open mic. So make sure that you go cop your tickets on our website. I'm gonna play Juju by Nameless since it's up on the playlist, so make sure that you stay tuned. After me is Morning with Russ, so Skanda Mali.
Hey,